So do you want to, can you tell me why, Sarah, why you enrolled on the course? What made you sign up?
Well, so first of all, I got an email because I'd been on a Bournemouth Skills and Learning course, and the email said, have you had depression, have you had anxiety, are you having problems, come along. Now, I was a bit depressed at the time, so I did feel slightly paranoid who was watching me. But after I got over that, I thought, well, I've had lots of my mental health issues in the past, and I'm still relapsing, so might as well try it. So I thought, let's try something that I haven't tried before. I'd never done any peer group work. I'd always had one-to-one. I'm actually a GP by profession, so I'm good at helping other people with depression. But you know, I've had 3 periods of burnout in my career, so I wanted to find something else. And so I was looking to transition back to work, and I wanted something to help me do that. And Living Well Project certainly was an immense help getting me back to work.
Okay, thanks. Vicky. I'm kind of the other end of the spectrum. I'm not a doctor. Funny that. I ended up resigning from my job this time last year to look after my elderly grandfather. In the process of looking after him, my health deteriorated quite rapidly. I'd always suffered with mental health issues since my early 20s, late teens. And I ended up being signed off work for the best part of a year. And while off work, I wanted to do something productive with the time, so I approached Weymouth College about redoing my maths. While filling in various questionnaires, I ended up finding out about you guys, and decided to make a commitment, which was a huge thing because I didn't commit to anything, and ended up coming along, and yeah, different person, to be perfectly honest with you. When I look where I was this time last year and where I am now, and a lot of it is down to the support of these ladies, to be honest with you, and the courses. And without sounding really twee, finding yourself and learning to like yourself again is a bit of a big deal, and these courses help with that. You actually get in touch with somebody who you kind of forget who you are after. I don't know if anybody's suffered with bad mental health or not, but you kind of get a bit lost. And it's been very nice finding the person who I was a very long time ago. And it's purely because of the project, really. I mean, yeah, anyway, I'm going to shut up because I'm starting to ramble again.
So Living Well Project's a bit like
Living Well.
sat-nav, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sat-nav back to your soul. So I did the Wellbeing Foundation course. That's 5 weeks. You have 3 hours a week for 5 weeks, and basically talk about the concepts of how to stay well. And to be fair, I hadn't done it in medicine. So connecting, learning, being active, noticing and giving. I was doing some of those things already, but it really reinforced in my head how to do that, and tips to do it that I might not have thought of. From a creative point of view, I went ahead and did things like glass tile painting, felting, watercolour. I hadn't done arts in school. It was something that I had no skills in, and to be fair, well, I say it gave me confidence. In my sphere of medicine, I have been successful, but always dogged by self-doubt, and in my worst depression, feel overwhelmed and feel unable to see past a certain point. Certainly in sort of the creative classes we did, you know, I might be given a ball of lamb's wool and think, well, what on earth am I going to do with that? And by the end of it, I've created an owl. So it actually got me, I realised that outside of my sphere where I had self-doubt, it actually helped me see past blockages, it helped me get past mental inertia. So you know, I tapped into, and I previously had taken horse riding and scuba diving to get me to think about something other than what my problems were. I could have 3 hours with some wool and a needle, and I would be completely absorbed, but at the same time talking to my peers and finding confidence to talk about things. So I say it got me focused. I went back to work during this phase, and I do out of hours general practice now, and Mondays was something for me to look forward to because I knew I was going to do something creative. I knew I'd got the girls, I knew I'd got laughter, and it helped keep me grounded in that phase of quite a lot of anxiety getting myself back into work. So, but yeah, I did some lovely courses, and one thing I said to Sarah is the great thing about the courses that you go on, that the tutors are so insightful, and they always make sure that whatever you're doing, there's something you can achieve at the end of every 3-hour session, which for somebody who's suffered with depression, you know, as we all probably know, those that have had it or work with people, it's important to be able to achieve things, and you always had something achievable. So every class you had achieved something, you'd made something, So that confidence started building.
And Vicky, what's happened after the course?
Oh, just as a tag on the end of what Sarah just said, I also found that the fact that the tutors actually cared as well was a huge thing. It wasn't a you're a pupil, bye, end of lesson. It was carried through really, really well, and the attention that you were given, you didn't feel rushed or hurried or anything else. So the caring and the achieving. As for the courses have kind of led to a bit of an obsession with buttons. I started to craft outside of the lesson now. I have a little shop online now. I've got a shelf in a shop, and I've been asked to do a couple of craft fairs for Christmas. So it's gone from stabbing a bit of feet out with a needle that really, really is good for anger, I can put out for there right now, having a little needle and stabbing away at something and making something pretty, eventually pretty, is really good for the soul. But just having the confidence in yourself, because I hadn't done art since GCSE, and I don't know why I opted to do it as a GCSE, because it was, I never felt I was very, very good at it. But I've actually realised I can do stuff that looks all right, and people want to buy it, that is an added bonus all round, that is really nice because it means it pays for itself. But I wouldn't have gone there really, and yeah, and I'm rambling, yeah.
I mean, one thing we have all, say, our particular group from our foundation course, our 5-week foundation course, we all stuck together through various different creative things. And so it's, you know, we've all been sort of glued together by our, you know, we're all from very different backgrounds, but we've all got depression or anxiety in common, so it's acted as a glue for us. We've actually kept in touch post courses. We've set up a little book club, so we try and meet up once a month, and we may discuss a book that's helpful for mental health and learning, or we may discuss something that's just a bit of chick flick.
Yeah, we stopped the last one because it was really depressing.
You know, and you know that meeting may just be talking about the book, but also it gives us a chance to talk about whatever problems we're having or positive stuff that we're having. So we all, I'm a Facebook atheist, but the girls have all got a little Facebook group, so they talk about one another, and we've gone away and we're all giving each other peer support. And we found a group of friends who, I mean, you know, I used to say to my friends, even my dearest friends, oh, you know, I've got a headache, I've got a migraine, so I can't see you, rather than, do you know what, I'm just feeling shit today, and so I just can't see you. And
no, it's not having to make excuses.
Yeah, so we don't make excuses with each other, and I personally have now found I don't make excuses with my other friends either. I'm more honest about how I am mentally.
Yeah, I must admit, because I was quite lucky. I mean, pre-wellbeing, I've had a very small group of friends through school who have stuck by me through a lot of stuff, but then they've always said that they understand, but they don't 100% get it, because it's a bit of, even now, and it shouldn't be, it is a bit of a taboo. It's like, oh, she's not very well. And it's almost like we don't really know what to touch on now or how to react to that. But when you actually meet people as mad as you are, you know, you actually feel that they do understand you and they do get it, and you realise through talking, because through a lot of the courses, like I said, we talk a lot, you actually identify with each other and you think what is really peculiar, and you're like, oh, nobody else must think that, nobody else does that, I'm a bit of a weirdo. Actually, a lot of people do it, they just don't talk about it, and it makes it a lot more open and easy, and you find the more you talk about it, the better you actually start to feel, because you realise that you're not on your own anymore with it. And it's literally through projects like this that you meet people, because people don't talk about it.
So it's liberating.
It is, it's refreshing, and it makes you feel really, really, sound twee again, free, but you do, it's taken something that never got discussed. Because I mean, the amount of times I was told to pull my socks up and just get on with it, and it's like, that's not what I need. What I need to hear is that there are other people like me who are going through the same problems, and without projects like this, you would never find people, because people don't talk. Well, I do, obviously. But
there's
anyway,
a reason why we were picked.
There's a reason why I'm the last, I'm in second.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I'd just like to add, before I sort of finish off the presentation, that it's because of this particular group that we're here today. because they knew we needed to recruit more learners on the project, keep the courses going, and they said, oh, do you know what, you need to be on the radio. So I contacted Wessex FM, and they came along and they said, oh yeah, great, we'll do an interview for you. And they came along, they spoke to me, and they spoke to the group, and aired the interview. And it was because of that we've then become, Andy got in contact, and I've been invited here today. So it's thanks to this particular group.